So we're here today at Dennis Baker's farm for the Buckeye Oliver Collectors spring show, I guess it is. Came here, it's kind of finished up now. Earlier, this room was full of tables, that wall was full of food. Ended up having 95 people come to the show today. They had vendors outside that were selling parts. You know that I'm usually a yellow guy, but today I'm looking at the only green tractors I like, the right color green. But appreciate Dennis Baker having this show here at his farm today. We're gonna walk around and talk about, I'm gonna have Oliver Phil explain the different tractors that were displayed here today.
So we got a 1655 Oliver with underslung front end, 3-point. This is a pretty good original. About a 70 horse tractor. Standard options was telescopic tilt steering and diesel or gas. This one's diesel. One owner, was his dad's. Pretty nice tractor, just mows now. 69 1750 special. Actually has an 1855 turboed Waukesha in it now. These were 80 horse, PTO tested. This one actually had no 3-point from the factory, and cabs aftermarket. A lot of different things that you can go into on the specials, but they were basically stripped down to compete with the John Deere 4000 series.
And when you turboed it and changed the engine, you added to the hood and everything,
yeah,
right?
So the hood is 1855 and it's 6.5 inches too short, so you add on rear piece of a 1650 hood, and then you change the air cleaner to the 1855, so you need a smaller fuel tank. So put a 880 fuel tank in it, and then redid the sheet metal to allow for the factory side metal to fit on. Larger pre-cleaner for so this is a Cockshutt 1600. Came back from Saskatchewan, Canada. It's a standard Wheatland with all the enclosures. Had to make a new door. That was missing. Seems to be the first thing that gets removed. But it's pretty much all original, except for the door. Wide swinging drawbar, no 3-point, no power steering. Be about a 60 horse tractor. This is a 1900 mechanical front wheel assist. This is a standard Wheatland, but with a factory 3-point option. Was used to do some heavy hauling for somebody. 453 Detroit and 4-wheel drive, and she's loaded down. Needs some work, but somebody wants one out there. Got another nice original 1555 narrow front, about as close to original you'll get, except for the added weight and cleaned up the front rims. But it's nice to find this was a barn find. Put a new distributor and rebuilt the carb. Here's a 1550 utility. I like the utilities. Most of them had a high-speed rear end. Underslung front end was common on the utility. Here's a 1555 next to it, and it's the same. It's a utility, high-speed rear end. Both of these are gas. Pretty original, but some items touched up. Very few made number-wise. This is a rare tractor. It's a 1555 that went to Vietnam. This one in particular did not go over, but it was stripped down to go to Vietnam. Diesel tractor, no power steering, standard front end, cheap as possible and easy to work on because they didn't plan on coming back. Contract was awarded to Oliver, but then canceled later, so a lot of them were resold cheap to the dealers. Cockshutt 1555, also a nice tractor, no power steering. All the enclosures are there. And another 1555 with all its enclosures. These are both gas. nice looking tractors. These are three really nice, but all three 1955s you'll see here next. A 77 standard, a Super 88 standard, the 77 is a Super as well, and the Super 66 row crop. All really nice restorations, nut and bolt, nothing missed. All 1955s, green wheeled, hadn't gone to red wheeled yet. Run like a top, better than new. Then you got the Superior grain drill with a seed box. Just nice original condition. Kept inside with the exception of today. And we got a 1955 Super 55 diesel, factory wheel weights all the way around, and an original Oliver box scraper. And we got 1955 Super 66 diesel with a 2-row corn planter, 3-point mounted. This has got a factory 3-point, factory tachometer, fender extensions, and just a good overall tractor. One day I'll get better paint. And a really nice 1555 fully restored utility. Not a detail missed. Oliver subsoiler and two bottoms, early version and the late, and a nice 3-point bush hog. All right, so in here we got a nice restored 1650 with a roll bar canopy. Makes it look nice. Nut and bolt restoration here. Really good paint. 3-point. Everything you need to get the job done. Gas with a hydropower drive, underslung front end. So it's another utility. Here we got a 1555 special. That was loader special is what they called this. You would run a PTO hydraulic driven pump. You didn't have hydraulics under the seat, and it was stripped down to make it an affordable loader tractor. You'd pick your loader and get the PTO mounted pump on it, and the power steering was, since there's no hydraulic, is ran off the belt up in the front. Just some of the differences that they did. 1550 row crop Cockshutt, complete restoration. A little bit of an older one, but it's a nice one, holding up. Got a 770 standard LP gas, cleanest oil you'll ever find on an LP tractor. Real nice tractor. It leaves today, goes to Indiana, where it'll continue to get a couple new parts and a finish on the restoration. Cockshutt 30 diesel, rare to find. Just a nice older tractor, mostly original. Second owner, I think. Here, just a lot of neat stuff, parts. Just a nice row crop 60. Little guy, but for a long time was a lot better than a horse. Got an Oliver spread all fertilizer applicator. I've only ever seen one. Hooked to a row crop 66 gas. That was, he kept it. 1655 gas with a loader. This is the workhorse of this farm. Better than lifting it by hand, that's for sure. Nice original, newer loader. Got a Cockshutt 30, older restoration, but still looks good. Sitting next to a Super 77 standard project tractor happens to be for sale. Somebody looking for a project. The bones are there, and an older restoration on an Oliver 770 high crop. One of many high crops that used to be here, but this one stuck around. It's a nice one. Fender extensions, new seat, restored at a time where all the parts weren't available, so I had to find the best of what you could. Alright, so here we got a restored 1550 Cockshutt row crop standard. Nice restoration. Very nice tractor. And we got an old, I think this one was restored in 91. It's a Oliver 66 Orchard. This was definitely before all the aftermarket parts were available, so we had to straighten all this sheet metal and find gauges that looked good enough. Couldn't just go buy them. And a nice 770. Clamshell fenders, extensions, adjustable wide front, 3-point.